This is the B Team intro song. Ow, that was my foot.
Hi, I'm Riley. I'm with my co-defendants, Garrett and Million, and today we're going to talk about tattoo shows. 38 artists are in our stables between the three of us. We thought it was important as B Team members to talk about tattoo shows. And if you have been doing tattoo shows as long as we have, you know that they've changed quite a bit over the last 20 years. And they've changed quite a bit over the last 2 years. So come along with us and let's just have a conversation with me and my homeboys on the B Team. You guys did back-to-back shows 2 weeks in a row.
Together even.
But you guys have actually slowed down on your shows. You're probably only down to about 6 a year.
Yes.
That's a lot.
I was down to 3, but I'm at 10.
Got you. That's interesting because I know tattoo artists that have tattooed 5, 10, 15 years that have never done one tattoo show. I started doing tattoo shows when I came out of the gate. I didn't have any business at a tattoo show 17 years ago, but nobody cared because we all suck so bad. And being on the B Team, nobody cared. Nobody cared who we were. They still don't, but the stakes are so much higher now that I've seen people go into tattoo shows and it's either had their careers flourish and their art flourish, or it's been a career killer.
A show, I think, will make or break you. I've seen artists come up where that's primarily where they tattooed, and it really changes their shop demeanor. There's a convention mindset, and then there's a studio mindset. So when I say it can make or break you, if you're going to a convention to make money, stay at home. You're going to make more money at home. You want to go out, you want to make connections, you want to have a good time, you want to learn something that you're not going to learn at the shop, maybe make a new contact, by all means, do a convention.
Million, you are a networking fool.
I do like talking to people.
Yeah, and you're good at it, but you're a networking fool. At a certain point, I know you were very isolated in your career, and you made a decision to go out there and find out what you could accomplish. And here you are today. Did you have any idea all those years ago making that jump, that leap of faith, if you will, would have taken you where you are today? I mean, I know you're still a B Team member, and for our audience, B Team members, nobody cares about us, so don't worry about it. You know,
the only way to get where, like from the beginning, was to go to shows. I had this stupid idea that I had to be invited. Eventually, they might, but they don't want you if they don't know who you are.
Right.
I always tell clients that I go to conventions and treat them like summer camp. And I think a lot of tattooers do. It's like you get to see old friends, make new friends, do some arts and crafts, travel. But at the same time, I've had a few clients, they flat out asked me, they don't pay you to come there? Like they think that we get paid to go to these conventions. It's not how it works. We pay to be in that booth, and pretty good money.
The networking is the trick. The gold is networking with people, meeting new people, setting up guest spots, getting invited to other shows, an opportunity, maybe classes that are there. I remember opportunities at tattoo shows that I went to where I met people. Those created friends that are lifelong. Some of them are right here with me, the other B Team guys, you know, and that sense of belonging is very important in tattooing. We're so isolated. So isolated.
If you break even at any show, it's awesome. But your first show, you know, you do it right. The second time you go out to that place, where if you did it right the first time, you're going to have clients sitting there.
When we were younger, it was so much more desperate to break even. I don't know about you guys, but as I got older, that became less and less and less important to me because I'm networking. I'm not there to tattoo anymore. You know, we have friends that tattoo, you know, shows constantly, and they've got systems for making money that work very, very well. I know a lot of tattoo artists that guerrilla market constantly. And, you know, one of the ones I just heard a while back was that they'll go to town early and they'll find a club or a bar that's very popular, and they'll take the bartender or the manager of the bar and give them $300 cash and a stack of cards and be like, start passing these out to the people you know here that buy tattoos and get money. And they'll almost immediately start getting messages and emails and sorting through it. That's brilliant. That's old school, face to face. I love that stuff.
There's something to be said for those guerrilla tactics, especially I think when you're out of town. I think it has its perks. yeah, don't dismiss advertising for these conventions
No.
by any means. I understand that there's a lot of younger artists or maybe even older artists that don't have that luxury of losing. And in that case, I say maybe don't do a show. Wait till one local comes. So it is an investment, but it pays off. If you're asking to do a show, well, am I going to make money? Am I going to make money? You're probably not ready to do a show.
No.
But it depends. Like I said, you can take deductions. You could write off the price of that booth. You can write off that airline tickets. You can get those hotels back. Even at that, though, it's like the gold that I saw when I started kind of branching out and figuring it out was like the technique that I learned from this guy that I took home and applied that leveled up my tattoos.
Yeah.
That ended up making me an extra 5 or 10 grand extra a year. Or like the conversations by the dumpster.
Oh God, yeah.
That's where the money's at. The conversations by the swimming pool. That's where you learn about tattooing. All of that adds up to money. All of that adds up to experience.
Everybody here, we've all judged
Oh, yeah.
quite a few shows. Riley, what are some do's and don'ts, do you think?
If you're going to enter and compete, if you're a new artist or you haven't done that before, say you're just starting to experience tattoo shows, I would pay real close attention to the rules and talk with whoever's entering. Have a really solid conversation with whoever you're entering your tattoo with.
The shows themselves could definitely help by making it crystal clear. That part definitely falls on the host of the show.
I would be very super clear with your client that you just tattooed and manage their expectations. Because if you're like, man, we're going to take best of show, if you do that with your client and they don't place, they might resent you for it.
And they feel like they got
Yeah.
a tattoo, and they probably don't. They probably got an
No,
amazing
It's a
tattoo.
great tattoo.
What I don't want my client, first of all, sitting around for an extra 4 hours to enter a tattoo, for a stupid
Yeah.
trophy that doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I want them to have a good experience. I don't want them to feel like they didn't win. Artists have clear communication with your clients. You never know what's going to win. Don't tell them it's going to win. Don't tell them it's going to.
You used to get notoriety in magazines would be there and they would say who won black and gray or who did that tattoo, and they would
Right.
come and speak you out and write an article and try to kind of give you a little fame and a pat on the back. Those days are virtually over.
Right.
And so the only notoriety you're really going to get is from the other artists around you. We know some of the very best artists in the world personally. Some of them are just famous. Like they're just famous. Everybody knows who they are. Regular people know, and citizens and mom and dad and everybody else. But there are so many other artists that are famous artists that have no public recognition. They're just famous in the industry among us that nobody knows who they are. Those are B team guys, even though they're that good. We're all seeking recognition. We're all seeking validation. Well, you go ahead and stay in it for the art. I'd like a pat on the back once in a while because I would get depressed and sick and weird. So you guys won trophies before?
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
It is a great feeling. If you ever won a art contest in grade school, you are an award-winning artist.
That's right.
So, the title, the accolade, all that stuff like that. No, I mean, it really comes down to, like you said, the validation and some recognition from the industry. For those guys that are looking for either a sponsorship or a pro team spot, they're going to need the social media following, and they're going to need to show up at shows and win trophies. And for those, whether you like it or not, your clients like to see something on the wall that says you were
Right.
awesome somewhere. I'm playing both sides of the fence on that one. I don't give a shit about the trophies either, but I do realize that when you get done with a tattoo and you're so excited about it, and then your client looks up at you with the excitement that you share with them, they're like, should we enter it? Do you think it's good enough to win?
Oh, but
Then you're like, yeah, it's good enough to win. Will it? I don't know if it'll win or not. It might win. And let's go ahead and put it in, because who knows? We might take a trophy.
What are some tips you could tell some of the listeners, like do's and don'ts about entering a tattoo? Like, for example, I don't know who came up with slathering your tattoo in baby oil before you get it judged. Don't do that.
So we're going to see right through that. You're going to get a lower score for pulling that crap. Thinking of it from an advice point of view, why don't you walk the room and take a look around?
Yeah.
Don't go in with the expectation of I'm the best, I'm going to win. If that doesn't happen, then you better face the cold reality that you just lost.
You know, do your research on the promoters. When they can be scary, they can be really good, but know your promoters. The reason I was going down to 3, you know, we mentioned earlier how I was doing 10 shows this year. It was because they were the 3 shows, you know, put on by people that I respect. I'd rather do 3 solid shows a year versus 20 half-ass shows.
Guys, I'm running out of time. We should probably call it a show.
Thank you for tuning in. My name's Million.
I'm Riley.
And I'm Garrett. Guess what? Nobody
Meow.
cares.
Nobody cares. We're the B team.
I can't hear you guys.
How about now?
Gee, how you doing now, Garrett?
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's the bloopers.